Hello and welcome to the Late Night Edition with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Our top focus in the Late Night Edition is Thursday or October 27th, which is tomorrow, which marks Accession Day, when the Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir, Harish Singh, signed the instrument of accession, uniting Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India. It took place in the middle of Pakistan's first invasion of India in 1947, where a force of 5,000 tribals descended on the Kashmir Valley after sacking Muzaffarabad. Now, while India was facing the chaos of partition, the Pakistani force looted, raped and pillaged their way across the valley on the road to Srinagar. But before they could reach the capital, Maharaja Harish Singh signed the historic document and allowed the 1st Sikh Regiment to land in Kashmir and push back the invaders. Now, for decades now, this day has been marked by protests by separatists, but now it is a day that marks India's unity and unbreakable bond with Jammu and Kashmir. That's the top focus on CNN News 18. I'm joined by Nirmal Singh, former Deputy Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, on this historic moment as we mark 75 years of accession. Now, Dr. Singh, thank you so much for joining us on CNN News 18. Now, for many years, this entire day was treated as a very important day for Jammu specifically, because it was when the Indian forces saved Jammu and Kashmir from the first invasion of Pakistan. It was also the day when Maharaja Harish Singh signed the instrument of accession. How essential is this day for the rest of India when it comes to this entire notion of Naya Bharat that we talk about?
Actually, Maharaja Harish Singh signed this instrument of accession on 26 October, and it was accepted on 27 by the government of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. This was the instrument of accession which was applicable to all the princely states. There were 562 princely states, out of which 555 joined India, and Jammu and Kashmir was one of them. Moreover, there was no deadline to sign this instrument of accession, that it has to be signed before 15th August. It was not obligate, you can say, this important. So Maharaja Harish Singh signed it. We became the part of the largest democracy of the world, and we are a part of the vibrant democracy today. When it was signed, the circumstances were such that Pakistan had invaded Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan occupied 1/3 of the territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which is still under illegal occupation of Pakistan, which is known as POJK. And afterwards, we see that other things they followed, whether 370 or other things. But this day is very important because we became a part of India, which was constitutionally very important for us, because Maharaja Harish Singh gave that opportunity to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, that we became the part of India. That's the importance of this day.
Right. And Dr. Singh, for many years, we had the Hurriyat conference in namely the city of Srinagar, calling this the day that India occupied Kashmir. And that entire sentiment of separatism was given oxygen for many years. Why do you think that was the case? And why do you think India's victory in uniting Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of the Union was sidelined for so many years?
It's nonsense on the part of such people who are questioning the instrument of accession. If we look at the history, we see that a long process has been followed between the British government and the Indian leaders, Indian political parties. Roundtable conferences were held in which all the stakeholders, they were involved. Then we see that Cripps Commission came, Cabinet Mission came, then ultimately the Independence Act came. So this instrument of accession and the powers given to Maharaja Harish Singh, that emerged out of all these discussions and agreements to question that. And it was the sole authority of the Maharaja or the king to accede to either of the two unions, whether Pakistan or India. We see that Amarkot, which are basically Amarkot, they joined Pakistan, which is still a Hindu majority area, and Hindu Raja joined Pakistan. Nobody questioned that. Because it was the sole authority of Maharaja Amarkot. But when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir, the Kashmiri leadership, especially the separatists and even National Conference and other Gupkar people, they question it. They say India acceded, but it's not emerged. This is the debate that they, you can say, sometimes they enter into, which is nonsense.
Right.
But because the whole of the world, that was the, you can say, consensus of the whole of the world. If you look at the history, not only British colonial power, but other powers also. They were also involved directly, indirectly on this in this process. So to question that, it means that to question the very existence of Pakistan. I'm saying it with authority. If you are questioning the instrument of accession, the Jammu Kashmir joining India, you are questioning the very existence of Pakistan, because there were a large number of people who never wanted Pakistan.
Right.
So we have to look at from that point of view.
Right. And Dr. Singh, my final question is that now the entire normalcy drive after the abrogation of Article 370 continues to hit certain roadblocks. If we look at the Vikas drive, even if we look at the security of Kashmiri Pandits. Now, recognizing the history of what happened in 1947, where you had the Indian forces, you had the Dogra forces also defending Jammu and Kashmir from Pakistani invaders, while the Pakistani invaders were calling themselves liberators. They were butchering, raping and pillaging across the valley, but they called themselves liberators. Recognizing this history is very central to the post-abrogation of 370 agenda. Now, how many strides have you made, in your opinion, when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir post-Article 370? Because one thing that is central to this entire campaign is winning the battle of hearts and minds, winning the sentiments of the people of Kashmir. Recognizing history is very important, but to attain victory in the battle of hearts and minds, where do you think the BJP stands today?
Ayushman, if we look at the history of Jammu and Kashmir since 1947, we see that 3 generations of Kashmiris, they were given the message by its leadership that though you are in India, but you are not 100% Indians. You are special. So that was the Kashmiris were at the crossroad. Now that is over. Now the Kashmiris, average person of Jammu and Kashmir who was not believing in Indianness, because he was taught like that. So now he feels that I have to live in this system, and they are reaping the you can say there is benefits of Indian democracy. And you see that within 3.5 years, what's the change which you are elaborating? These some of the chief ministers, they were saying, whether it was Farooq Abdullah or Mahbooba Mufti, that 370, if you touch 370, not all the hands but even bodies will burn. Nobody shall be there to you can say even carry this tricolor. But you have seen in the last Independence Day, the Kashmiris, they were carrying the tricolor on their heads. So that's the change. Now the enemy has changed its strategy by resorting to target killing, because they have been defeated on the ground. Now they are resorting to this Kawadi acts, killing innocent people. Whether it's a Hindu, Muslim or a Sikh, even Kashmiri Muslims are being killed by them. It shows that Kashmiris, they are not following their dictates. That's a change.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for joining us on CNN News 18.